The heat was unbearable in the Pennsylvania State House on May 25, 1787, forcing the windows open for fresh air to circulate. But open windows also meant listening to the horses and wagons clacking loudly on those cobblestone streets. So huge loads of dirt were brought in to cover the cobblestones just to deaden the noise, so the men in the State House could work together in peace and quiet. Such was the vital urgency of their work. Guards were posted at the doors to keep curiosity seekers away, among other distractions. Only 6 years before, the Articles of Confederation were adopted, but were more of a league of friendship among the sovereign states, who held the governing power instead of the federal government. In just 6 years, however, it was obvious the federal government needed more power, particularly the power to tax and pay a national military in order to provide for the common defense of all the states. The current federal government was a failure in a time where states held all the power. Finding the balance of power was vital. Congress had tried to survive printing paper money to operate, which caused hyperinflation. In some areas, a pound of tea was selling daily for $100. Farmers were being thrown in prison daily for debts they could not pay, and their farms sold for taxes. Central government had little power by the design of the states. In 1786, farmers organized behind Daniel Shays in a rebellion that struck fear in the hearts of government leaders as incidents of anarchy grew, while the central government grew weaker by the day. America could not effectively protect or defend its citizens, and the State of the Union was impotent and ineffective. George Washington wrote to Madison, quote, "Wisdom and good examples are necessary at this time to rescue the political machine from the impending storm." This timeless truth is just as true today as on that day. James Madison knew the Articles of Confederation had failed and convened with a huge burden of urgency this Constitutional Convention to reform the American government. Leaders were skeptical of new efforts. George Washington was suffering from rheumatism, grieving his brother's death, a busy businessman with his Mount Vernon plantation, doubting that the convention would actually accomplish anything, or that many statesmen that were his peers would even attend. Washington refused to accept the invitation to attend for several months. The gravity of his decision was intense, to put his reputation on the line to a gathering likely to fail, or chance that the public may see his absence to strip credibility from the convention. The general finally agreed to make the trip, once again putting God and country ahead of his vast personal interests. Robert Morris of Pennsylvania, whose personal wealth largely funded the Revolutionary War, opened the proceedings with a nomination: General George Washington for the presidency of the Constitutional Convention. The vote was unanimous. With great humility, General Washington expressed his embarrassment at his lack of qualifications to preside over such an august body, and apologized in advance for any errors he might make in the course of his deliberations. The general then led the men to their knees to pray. Today, we have the luxury of history to see the result of the personal sacrifices made by those delegates attending, who put their lives on hold for God and country in a time of desperation where anarchy, hyperinflation, and a failed central government had to be reformed to survive. Did their mission succeed? May we always remember their mission was to save that failed federal government, that the foundation laid that day in May 1787 was our United States Constitution, which begins with the Preamble. The preamble to the United States Constitution is the Founding Fathers' mission statement of the Constitution's fundamental purposes and guiding principles, what the Constitution was meant to achieve. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. Do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. May the object of our outrage always be rightly placed on the failures of flawed men we the people misplace into positions of honor, then fail to supervise. It is flawed men that have failed their oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States, but our Constitution has never failed. May we always remember our Constitution has succeeded in its mission with honor. For yes, America is today a more perfect union than it was that day, as justice prevails daily. Domestic tranquility is enjoyed daily. Our U.S. military rules the entire planet and outer space surrounding it to protect and shield our nation, providing for our common defense daily. The general welfare today is far greater today than on that day, as America sets the standard every day by which all nations are judged. Still the most desirable country on earth. Our blessings of liberty we enjoy and exercise this moment of this day and every moment of every day. Honor those who sacrificed themselves on that hot Pennsylvania day, May 25th, 1787. May Christian patriots dedicate ourselves today and every day to form a more perfect union today than on all prior days. Our blessings of liberty to our future generations are guaranteed because they are firmly placed solely in our own free hands of liberty. Our future generations will reap only what each of us as parents and grandparents sow for them. They will inherit what we determine they deserve, as we the people alone determine what their country will be like when they breathe their first breath outside the womb. They will not determine whether God Jehovah rules this land, but we will surely determine it for them. They will not determine if America is a more perfect union then than in our days, but we will surely determine it for them. While much is wrong in America, so much more is right. The rights we enjoy and promote must never be overcome by the evils of wrongdoing, particularly by those we ourselves choose to serve us in government. Never allow political failures of the day to diminish, demean, dilute, deny, or disrespect the fruit of the labor of our godly founding fathers, or the blood of all patriots past who defended our Constitution with honorable service, with personal sacrifice, that have indeed guaranteed the success of the mission of our Constitution as stated clearly in the preamble. The Constitution will never fail us, but we in our generation can choose to fail our Constitution if we are poor defenders. God forbid it. Christian patriots, we must ensure the mission of the preamble continues to be a mission accomplished for all time. God bless America.